not asymptotic.
Oh, God. Jack in the Box. The Daily Question with KUAM News is Tomas Manglotnia. Tomas, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we actually got some more help from Mayor's Council of Guam President Jesse Alec on the link this morning, and or this morning and yesterday actually, right? He's one of the questions was if it's realistic to expect mayoral staff to be trained to administer COVID-19 testing. We asked our audience on Facebook and Instagram for their responses and wanted to share a bit of the highlights with you today. Mary Torres Cruz on Facebook says, not everyone is capable of doing the job right, even if they are trained. Plus, they're already overwhelmed to add more to their plate. Also wanted to share a bit of our Instagram story responses that people type in themselves. And they write here, Ali writes, with the proper training and competency, we need all hands on deck. PNW writes here, they need to reach minority populations and have information in their home languages. So a suggestion there in terms of more community outreach. If
they did that earlier,
would do that.
Earlier on in the pandemic, and that was because people were saying, hey, we need to translate this stuff into Chuukese, we need to translate it into Filipino or Tagalog, right? And so they did it early on, just like the rapid engagement team, but we don't know, and we spoke with the mayor. We don't know why those efforts aren't being stood up again, or if they continued.
Yeah, it's almost as if we're asking the same questions.
We are. That's one thing I noticed about this pandemic.
Like 2 years later, it's like,
yeah, that's why I asked if this was a dream.
Groundhog Day, so welcome, good morning again.
I want to ask every morning, is this a dream, guys, just to make sure, because I feel like we've been here before.
And so some other responses before we wrap up. This commenter writing, I think the question should be, how do they feel about it? So got to ask.
Yeah, did anyone ask them how did they feel about it? Did anyone even think to say, hey, mayor staff, hey, six-pack over at the Talafofo mayor's office, how do you feel about swabbing somebody? Because how would you guys feel? I feel like it's a big deal. I feel like it's a really big deal, and they're trying to like downplay it. Like, oh yeah, we'll just train them up, stick the thing up your nose. Because have you been tested for COVID? You have many times.
Many times, and actually that goes well into this next response, which is better to do self-administered tests can be done in drive-through setting or online. And I know some counties and communities in the states have are able to do at-home testing that you can mail in and get your results the next day.
That is on the way, because the Binax Now test that Mary Rhodes was talking about a week ago, and that presentation's up on our YouTube channel if you want to watch it. That is on the way.
Right on.
Yeah, someone else here, Penny on Facebook, adding, just teach us how to give it to ourselves. Might as well treat the COVID vaccine like an insulin shot. she even writes. And so again, that was our daily question from yesterday. We'll be posting our new one today around 10 a.m. And then also, just in case you missed that, we'll be sharing the daily question on primetime as well. So,
Tomas, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But how would you feel, though?
If I wouldn't want to administer tests to anyone else but myself if that was the option.
How would you feel, though, if you went to the mayor's office and you got, swabbed by a staff member of the mayor?
I would be fine if they were
if
they were competent in doing it. If they were told me they're a little nervous.
But there's only one way you're going to find out if they're competent, and that's to surrender your nostril.
Oh, no, maybe we'll have May, comment on that in terms of what she thinks about having mayoral staff.
Right,
well,
yeah. Because what is how many times are they, when you got tested in the States?
They told me 10 rotations in each nostril.
Dude, 10?
That's because it was a mid-nasal swab, so it didn't go all the way out my nose. So, it's like, I don't know if, people.
So you just go right in the beginning of the nostril?
Mid-nasal. So
mid-nasal.
Right to where I feel like you can feel where your bone is at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was I did that twice a week, in school.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like my IQ dropped because they were scraping on my brain a little bit when I got tested a couple times. Because they put it in deep.
There wasn't a whole hell of a lot to go around.
There wasn't enough.
So don't worry,
they're like, is that the top of your skull, Mr. Barnett? Oh, there should be a brain there. I'm not picking anything up.
Don't worry, the next day will be all the same, so you'll have the same memory.
Right on.
For yourself.
Thank you, Tomas.
No problem. Guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Samantha comments in here. I wouldn't trust someone to do it on me if they weren't a healthcare professional. Yeah, I agree.
And some people are saying, utilize the medical students. Those who,
like nursing students.
That's a good
idea. Yeah, that is a good
so
idea.
We also got a lot of those. Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder